Hey folks, got my 2017 Polaris Ranger 900 XP. Today we're going to be swapping out the spark plugs. A few things before we get started. As you can see here, these are my spark plug wires, and of course the plugs are going to be underneath there. So the first thing I did is I came in here with some compressed air, and I'm going to go ahead and clean this off, blow all the dust and dirt away from there. And then what we're going to do is, if we follow these spark plug wires back, I want to loosen these off of this air hose, so that way it's a little easier to work with these, because these are going to pop out. And then what these do is these go back to the ignition coil. You can kind of see that back in there. And that's kind of like a transformer. And that's what creates the spark that the engine needs to get the proper ratio of fuel and air mixture. And if you have a ignition coil that's going bad, some of the symptoms might be that you'll have a rough idle, no horsepower or loss of horsepower, and it'll probably throw some type of an engine code. But anyway, just so you guys know where that is. So I'll get set up and get started. Folks, here we go. So again, I got these two removed. I ran my compressed air in here to clean this up. Now we're going to pop these off one at a time. There's a tool for this, but I'm just pulling straight up. Okay, there, that came out. Now this is a 5/8 inch with it's a thin wall with a magnetic in there to grab and hold those spark plugs. So we're just going to drop that in there. Okay. You can see that broke loose really easy. And that's because the torque setting on this is 7 foot-pounds. Now, these are pretty long threads, so it's going to have to come out here quite a bit before this is going to come out. Okay, so there it is. Actually, that doesn't really look too bad. And I got about 4,000 miles on this, but I bought this a couple years ago, and I'm not actually sure if the previous owner replaced them at all, which, well, it sure looks like he did. But anyway, we're this far into it, we're going to go ahead and swap them out. Now, one thing I want to point out, in the owner's manual for the 900 only, it actually says to use anti-seize with the threads. But what I want to point out is, as long as you get these NKGs, they come plated. Televant, I believe, is what that's called, which is basically a silver or a nickel type plating. And as long as you have these type of plugs, you do not need to use the anti-seize. And again, it's only for the 900s that say you need to use those. So again, I'm not going to. But also MR7F, that is the correct plug for this Ranger. So what we'll do, don't want to be anywhere near that hole in case something drops. All right, and that's going to hold that. And we'll just slide that in there, go backwards, and I felt that drop in. And we're going to just crank that down. Right there, stopped. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a little bit more, because again, 7 pounds. You can get a torque wrench if you want, but I'm just not going to. A little bit more. There we go. Okay, one down. That's pretty clean. There, that popped into place. And a little bit more. There we go. Okay, folks. The last part in, and we'll be all set. And thanks again for watching. We'll fire this thing up, give it a little spin. See, that's snug in there, right? Same to that one. Okay, go give it a test drive. Thank you again.